The Repair Lot, a one-stop shop where a crack team of experts bring classic cars roaring back to life.
20 years and it's fired up.
Is it then? Hey?
No job is too tough, no car too challenging.
No, I've truly never seen a car like this. It's amazing.
Award-winning motoring journalist Charlie is meeting the owners.
Aaron, welcome to the workshop.
Hello, how are you doing? You all right?
And assessing how to keep their drives alive.
Immediately, that steering column is juddering up and down, isn't it?
Together with old and new school mechanics Derek and Hannah.
Hey.
That's really good, isn't it?
Result.
Yeah.
Freya the trimmer.
Right, that's all the stitching done. I'm really happy with that.
And bodywork specialist Jerry Lee.
It brings the whole car together. It really, really looks nice.
The team are on a mission
Oh, wow, it looks so different.
to put any classic in any condition back on the road.
Absolutely fantastic!
This time, the team take on a Triumph Spitfire, the project car from hell.
This is by far the worst car I've ever bought. And, you know, shouldn't really have done it, but I did.
It hasn't started in over 30 years, so mechanics Derek and Hannah have their work cut out.
Ready?
Yep.
Nothing.
Trimmer Freya needs to up her scavenging game to replace the entire interior.
There's another door card.
Sharing the workshop is a 1970s Rover, which also fails to launch.
Oh, that really doesn't sound good.
And the seats are falling apart in Freya's hands.
That's really, really bad.
Can bodywork guru Jerry Lee give the Rover back its feel-good factor
That's the bit that I love once you get the really good, smooth feel at the end.
and turn a total wreck into a triumph?
Really, it'd be a miracle.
Heading into the workshop today is one cool convertible, a 1950s Triumph Spitfire. Owners Jezza and Victoria would love to get behind the wheel, but it's been 3 decades since this pretty project car was drivable. Charlie is here to go through the Spit from nose to tail to see if the team can finally get it back on the road.
Jezza, welcome to the workshop.
Hello.
Lovely to meet you. And Victoria, hello. So clearly, the Triumph is a shared passion, but who found the car?
I've been looking to buy a very early Mark I Spitfire, such as this car, and there was one for sale on an online auction site, and what I ended up buying was a bag of bits, really. This is by far the worst car I've ever bought, and, you know, shouldn't really have done it, but I did.
We've had some work done, so it has been to a workshop to sort of put it back together. You'll see that it's been spray painted, but it's not as complete as it actually looks.
OK, so the surface of it, you know, you could get in that car and drive off into the sunset, but not on closer inspection.
No.
The rebuild was going, we thought, OK, but sadly, they went out of business. And for the last 4 years, this car has just sat under a dust sheet at the back of a barn.
Everyone loves a barn find, until you have to track down all the parts and put the puzzle back together. What a mission.
The paint work is good, but when you jump up and have a look, you'll see there's no interior to the car.
There's not even a door handle to get into the car, let alone seats, carpets, panels, anything. It's shocking.
We've got all the parts. We've got a couple of boxes of bits, certainly lots of the interior.
Big question, does the engine run?
I don't know.
So you've not heard it, it's a complete who knows
It's
zone.
a mystery. I've not actually stood next to this car with the engine running.
OK, I'm starting to build a picture here.
I'm just really looking forward to being able to sit behind the wheel of a Spitfire and actually be able to drive it. To see that project come to fruition would be amazing.
There's a lot of work to do, I'm afraid.
I promise you, the guys in there, we've got a good team and they will do everything they can to try and get it finished.
I turn 50 later in the year, so it'd be a nice present.
That would be absolutely amazing.
What a cool birthday present a blast along the B roads in a Spitfire would be. But Charlie knows this is the most problematic project the team have ever tried to pull off.
This car has been living underneath a dust sheet for 4 years. I didn't even have the guts to lift that bonnet and see what's going on under there. I'm going to leave that to the guys in the workshop. Apologies in advance.
Jezza and Victoria have collected together a box of Triumph bits. And Freya needs to work out if any of it will do the job.
So this is the interior for the Spitfire. It's a project car, though. It's been sat in the back of the garage, and I'm told everything's here. However, I need to check over and make sure that it is all here and that we don't need to order anything else. We've got some bases.
The Spitfire seats look cool in that black material.
They all look good.
The white piping is very 60s. Austin Powers.
There's another door card. We've got some boot liner.
To solve the interior puzzle, Freya plans a test fit. Can she give the interior back its 60s sports car vibe?
So, the first thing I need to put in is the carpet. Cars of this period didn't really have fitted carpets. It was more like one piece lays over the other and they kind of sit where they sit. But when you put the seats in, everything's going to settle down a bit more, so it'll look quite nice.
No multifunction electronic seats in here. This car is all about wind in your hair and sitting as close to the road as possible.
So I've got these two in line. Once I've got these bolted in, I can move the seat forward and hopefully the rear holes will line up too and I'll be able to bolt them in.
So far, all the parts are here and Freya is cracking on. But with a project car, you never know what's round the corner.
That's one of the seats in. There's still a lot more to do in this interior, but it's really starting to come together. I think it looks fab.
At the heart of this sports car, of course, is the engine. Team mechanics Derek and Hannah, with 60 years of experience between them, are keen to get the Spitfire firing on all cylinders. But this is the first time anyone's looked under the bonnet in 4 years.
That looks great. Looks like it's had a lot of attention on this engine. But the big question is, does it work? Does it start? The first thing we do is have a proper look through, make sure everything's connected where it should be before we even turn the key.
Yeah, go for it.
Somebody has splashed the cash on this car because this looks like a replacement rebuilt engine. Good news. But it's just been bolted into the bay, and Hannah and Derek do all the donkey work to connect it up, hoping that it'll fire up for the first time.
I think if we give it a go...
Make sure it turns over okay?
Yeah.
Everything's clear, isn't it?
Yep. Oh, have we got any lights on, or...?
Nothing. Dead.
The old battery might not have enough juice to turn the engine over.
Right, so I'm getting 5.5 volts. That's meant to be 12 volts on that. That battery is no good at all, is it?
No.
It's never going to start with that many volts in it.
A fully charged backup battery is brought in to give enough oomph for a second test fire on the Triumph.
Let's try it again.
Oh, I've got some lights. Nothing.
We've got movement this time, at least.
Oh, it's turning over okay.
Just not getting any fire up, are we?
This old-timer is coughing and wheezing, but refuses to come back to life.
Right.
At the repair lot, a tired Triumph is testing the mechanic's patience, refusing to fire up. This project car hasn't run in 3 decades, but Derek thinks he spotted something which could help get this Spitfire off the ground.
The bolts for the intake manifold are loose.
Right.
to the carbs, so when it turns over, it'll just suck air, it won't suck fuel. Just tweak them a little bit. That's better. Fingers crossed? Hey.
That's really good, isn't it?
Result.
Yeah. It's sounding good.
Yeah, really pleased about that.
That's one problem sorted.
Rumbling towards the workshop is a Rover P5 with a powerful V8 engine, famous for being the preferred ride of prime ministers and gangsters, the 1970s sort. Ryan has inherited this family heirloom, but even though he's a mechanic, he needs the specialist skills of the workshop to keep it on the road. Charlie is here to review the Rover in detail.
Ryan, it's so lovely to meet you.
Hi, nice
Thank
to
you
meet
for
you.
coming down to the workshop. So we've got a Rover P5 here. This is a big, bold, British car.
So it was left to me by my granddad, and obviously I've sort of taken on the responsibility of bringing it back to life.
Could we have a look inside? Would that be okay?
Definitely.
Cool. Wow, it's just vast, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
this was a luxury car in its day, and it still is. You know, you've got these leather seats, and
Yep.
you've got, you know, the driver's clock and things like that. So the seats are looking a little bit worse for wear. The leather's quite dry. Obviously, you've got this big gash in it.
Yep.
Do you want us to take a look at that?
If you can, that would be brilliant.
So that's the front seats. How about the back seats?
So the back seats are a little bit better, but there's a bit of a surprise back there.
Okay, let's have a look, shall we? Okay, yep, I can see we've got a repair job that isn't finished. What
Yeah.
happened here?
It was a rust repair, really, and unfortunately that's about as far as I've managed to get with it.
Okay, and with something like this, we've got Jerry Lee. She's our body shop expert. She will have a look at that. Is there anything else I need to know about?
The main issues I'm actually having are under the bonnet.
Oh, no, that's not good news, because that is a big engine for a big car, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, let's have a look. Tell me what's going on.
Unfortunately, I have trouble getting it started initially, mainly in the cold.
That's a monster, isn't it?
Yeah, it's obviously a V8 in there. It's very temperamental and just not very reliable.
I think the thing to remember with these cars as well when you're inheriting them is that, you know, our grandparents, this technology was very new, very relevant to them.
Yeah.
But it's not to us, is it? And I understand you're a mechanic yourself.
Yeah, I am, but a lot of the stuff I do is more computer-based, obviously plugging laptops in, which obviously these don't have.
Yeah, you can't just diagnose it by plugging it into something. You need an actual expert to really get into it,
That's
don't you?
it, yeah.
So we've got a lot of work to do in here, haven't we?
You've got your work cut out, yep.
We're ready for it, though.
Well, Charlie sounds confident, but it will need major work for this ageing luxury saloon to live the VIP life once again. First up is bodywork expert Jerry Lee. Charlie's challenged her to get the paintwork perfect on that damaged door shot.
This is the first time I'm seeing the car today. I've been told that it had a rust repair. I will need to investigate a little bit further so that I can prime and paint this and make this look brand new.
Removing the seats gives Jerry Lee better access to work on the paintwork. But the interior of the Rover also needs a reboot, a job Charlie has given to trim expert Freya.
Hey, Freya.
Hi.
Oh, my God. Slightly heavy. I have a gift for you.
Wow, they're looking a bit tired, aren't they?
Just slightly, I would say.
I think I can do something with this.
Yeah.
But it feels really dry. I think we should give them all a feed. Make the leather a lot more supple and soft.
Great.
Seats handed over, it's time to focus on prepping the paint repair.
I enjoy masking up, but my favourite part is sanding. People usually hate sanding, and I really quite love it because I get to really zone out. It's almost like a meditation when I do it.
Can this scrappy Rover give good karma? Jerry Lee is mid-meditation with some serious sanding to transform that less-than-perfect paintwork. It's all about getting hands-on.
I use my bare skin to start off, just to feel where all the rough edges are, and that's when I know where to go. So this needs a little bit more because it's just not quite there yet. That's the bit that I love once you get the really good, smooth feel at the end. This is very satisfying. Yep, no dents.
The paint repair needs to be really clean before Jerry Lee lays on the primer.
The secret to the perfect primer is the flick. You want to make sure that you layer up with very light coats, because if you do too much, it will run. I'm really happy with the primer. It'll probably take about an hour to set, and then I'll be moving on to the paint.
A fresh morning, and Jen is coming in to see Abby, memorabilia and design expert.
Hi, Jen, come on in.
Hiya.
Nice to meet you.
And you? Hiya. Thank you.
She's brought in a racing relic from the Lotus Formula One team.
So, what have we got here then?
So we have the rear wheel from a late 70s Formula One car.
The golden years.
Yeah, the
Formula
golden
One.
years, yeah.
Wow, what an amazing piece of history this is. So how did you come into possession of this Formula One wheel?
My dad has worked for the team for over 30 years now. He does all the traditional hand sign writing.
Amazing.
And yeah, really talented, really skilled. And so he's been doing that, let's say, for over 30 years now.
So what do you want us to do with it?
The idea has always been to turn it into a table. It's always been the dream, but just never got to it. So we're hoping for like a glass top, make use of it, make it a focal point and talking points.
70s Formula One was a time of wheel-to-wheel combat, incredible cars and big egos on the track. This Survivor has original patina that reminds Jen of those glory days.
It'd be great to keep the character, yeah. I mean, it's the team markings are the really important bits, really, because obviously they all mean something to the team and you know what the wheel has been used for. And I guess keeping as much of this as possible would also be great because again, it shows that it's been used and you know it's got a backstory.
Yeah, it's not just an ornament.
Yeah,
it will be, but it's been used. It's had a good life.
Yeah, it has had a good life. Yeah.
Okay, so are you wanting it this way up?
No, actually, I'd actually quite like it the other way up.
Okay, see what that looks like. All right. The interior here, are you wanting this to be left as it is, as a bit of original patina, or are you wanting that to be polished?
I'd actually quite like that to be polished up.
Okay.
I think it would be a nice contrast to having the outside, you know, showing its signs of life, as it were. And yeah, and I think shining it up when you've got the glass on, you're looking down into the dish, it would really sort of bring it all up. It'd be quite interesting to see.
I think so too. So there's quite a clear picture here of what we're going to do with this, and I'm excited for the team to get started on it.
It'd be lovely to see it done.
Brilliant. I think your dad's going to love this piece. Does he know that you're doing that?
He does, yeah, because I had to tell him, but I think seeing it all, he's going to be amazed.
Yeah, I think you'll have to invite him round for a coffee when it's done.
Absolutely, yeah.
Sure.
Abby will need to give this wheel some serious work. Bespoke parts, specialist cleaning. No wonder Jen never got round to making it happen. Back with the luxury Rover P5, and trim expert Freya has made a dreadful discovery on the ripped passenger seat.
Oh, well, that's really not a good sign. The foam that's just fallen out here is showing that there's obviously some degrading foam underneath. And when I pull this cover off, there's potentially going to be a fair bit of damage, because that's a lot of foam. That's really, really bad. I think we're going to have a bit of work to do on that.
In the Repair Lot workshop, car trimmer Freya is restoring the leather seats from a classic 70s Rover. But they're in a shocking state.
So this light outer layer of foam wraps around the main foam. And as you can see, there's not much left of it. It's just crumbling away.
After tackling every kind of upholstery job on seat, Freya backs herself to be able to cut and shape a new base. But right now, the leather cover needs a bit of je ne sais quoi.
French seams are where you've got 2 lines of stitching running along a join of a seam. So it's quite pretty. It's done on a lot of car seats. All of this French stitching I'm going to have to undo, and then I'll be able to sew the seam back together.
The damage is where the thread has come away along the original stitch lines. So Freya French seams them back together, trying for an invisible fix.
OK, cool. Brilliant.
Over in the spray booth, Jerry Lee is laying down paint on the Rover Repair. The bold, bright blue looks just like when it came out of the factory in the 70s.
Okay, first coat done. 3 more to go. I'm going to leave about 15 minutes in between each coat. I've done super thin layers because I don't want it running, and I'm almost there.
Back with the Formula One wheel, Abby has been busy planning the coffee table build. Derek has split the wheel apart, so she's set up Matt, a local expert, to clean the corroded centre.
So this is the piece.
OK, this is the piece. Is
Yes.
it made out of aluminium or is it magnesium?
Yes, it's magnesium.
OK.
This is actually the inner part of a Formula One wheel from the
Right.
70s.
Oh, cool. We're going to aquablast this particular piece because with aquablasting it uses glass bead and water.
OK.
And it works like a cushion with the water, so that it cuts very slowly to give you a lovely satin silver look when it's all finished.
Oh, wow.
And make it look amazing for you.
This will be the focus of the coffee table, on display when anyone looks down through the glass top. So Abby wants the centrepiece blasted back to bare metal.
So this is actually an aqua blaster. Some people call it a vapour blaster, but basically it uses very high pressure air and very high pressure water with a glass media and also quite a strong chemical in there with hot water, and it will turn this piece of magnesium back to a brand new piece of magnesium, hopefully. Let's do it.
Let's do
Get it
this.
in. OK, right, we're going to turn the machine on and then we're going to see what we can do with oxidisation. Let's see if we can get it off. OK, let's do it.
The wheel centre has got a milky outer layer, a reaction between the metal and the air over decades. But aqua blasting can make it look brand new.
It's coming this lovely buttery silver, as you can see. So we're just working that face. We're working all the pockets, obviously of the casting. And as you can see, the face that we haven't touched yet, you can see the difference between the two. So
It looks incredible
Yeah.
already in such a short amount of time.
yeah, but when that's all washed off and then dried off, that would all look amazing.
Wow, that is seriously impressive. Matt really knows what he's doing, and the magnesium is already looking lovely. Jenny's going to love this.
It's not just the wheel that needs a major refresh. Freya is tackling the dry, brittle leather surface of the Rover seat, giving it serious attention with a stiff brush.
The seats have to be really clean before I treat them with the leather feed. Otherwise, the feed isn't going to get to the leather how it needs to.
With the seat surface clean, it's time for a massage of leather feed.
It's going to feed the leather and make it much more supple. I'm going to do this now, and then in a couple of weeks, I'm going to reapply it, and then leave it for another couple of weeks, and then I'm going to buff it all up, and hopefully this leather will be really supple.
This is going to be a long job, But Freya knows that even after 50 years of neglect, there's always hope for leather.
So leather is, in effect, it was a living product, so it can be revitalised just like our skin is when we put moisturiser on. You can bring this back to life with some elbow grease.
So remember, always moisturise. This has already taken an hour and Freya has barely begun. Transforming this Rover is a truly time-consuming task. While Freya softens up the seats, Hannah fires up the big Rover's ignition.
Oh, that really doesn't sound good. That's not starting at all. First thing I'm going to check with the car that's not starting is the electrical system and the battery. So I'm just going to check what voltage we're at and if the battery's healthy. So I'm expecting 12 volts from this battery, and that's what I'm getting, 12 volts. So we can rule out an electrical problem.
The V8 engine is a beast. To turn it over, so the fuel and spark can ignite inside, Hannah needs the starter motor working at maximum capacity. So she heads underneath.
Now, I've done a bit of research and found this is a bit of a weak point. It's a bit of a common problem with these engines, that they start to wear. I mean, this car is fairly old. They do start to wear over time. They do lose that ability and that power to start the engine properly. So the starter motor is the first thing that I'm going to look at and take off.
This P5 was the first Rover to use a V8 engine, but it went on to sit under the bonnet of icons like the Land Rover and Range Rover. It's a big engine, and there's not much room to work.
So we are now currently wedged, absolutely stuck. Trying to tip it up so that I can get it to come downwards, but everything's so covered in oil, it's really difficult. And the starter motor is quite heavy as well, so it's not the easiest. Oh, thank goodness for that. That was really difficult to get out. Not much space up there.
The damage to the starter motor is clear to Hannah.
So this is the part here that comes out and locates onto the flywheel and starts the engine, but it does look a little bit worn. So we're not getting the full power from this starter motor actually turning the engine.
Modern starter motors are smaller, lighter and more powerful, so it's a no-brainer to order a new one. Next day, and a fancy high-torque starter motor arrives for the V8 to crank it up.
This is the big moment. So I've put the high-torque starter motor on, I've reconnected the battery, and now I'm going to turn it over and see if it actually fires up.
It's alive.
It's good. So I'm just testing it over and over again to make sure that actually the starter motor is engaging properly on each go. But it's really, really good. Really, really pleased. Excellent.
Everything is coming together on the Rover, and the radically revamped interior is the final piece to go back in.
So Freya's done an amazing job. I don't mind just finishing it off by polishing, but what a great job she's done with these seats. Look how good they look.
I know, there was a huge rip here, and you can't even see it's there anymore.
50 years of dirt has been swept from the cabin. The born-again leather interior looks amazing as it's carefully refitted. Ryan's grandfather would love this.
It looks awesome.
Looks so much better, doesn't it?
Yeah, like new.
Today, Ryan returns to see the Rover he inherited from his grandfather, a family heirloom for over 50 years. This British icon was in a bad way. The V8 wouldn't start, there was poor paintwork, and the interior had lost its looks. Charlie is here to guide Ryan through the Rover revival.
Nice to see you again. How have you been?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Have you missed your car?
Yeah, definitely. Excited to see it.
I'm going to take the cover off, OK?
It's looking good. It's looking good. Over the moon. Looking like a different car. I can see the seats look sort of brand new from how I left them with you. They're looking really good. They sort of stand out quite a bit while you're looking at it now, which is good.
So nice and neat and tidy. That's the leatherwork. We also had some cosmetic issues on a panel here, didn't we?
It looks amazing. You wouldn't know there's a repair that's been done there.
Being a mechanic himself, Ryan gets straight behind the wheel to see if the team have cracked the starting issue.
Oh, that's nice. Give it a rev, go on. Yeah. Ryan was absolutely buzzing when he turned that key and it started up for the first time, and just hearing that engine ticking over, oh, he was well impressed. How do you think your granddad would feel seeing it today?
He'd probably be as speechless as me, but yeah, I think he'd appreciate the work that's gone into it.
And do you think he'd want to take it for a drive, or do you think he'd want the keys back permanently?
Yeah, he'd probably take the keys back, I think.
But it's Ryan who has the keys to his own VIP classic car now. And it's time to revel in the Rover.
The V8 is sounding good. The seats are feeling a lot more comfortable. I think my granddad would have probably wanted to be driving the car if he was here now. I'm really pleased with all the work the team's done. They've done an amazing job on it.
At the repair lot, work is moving fast on Jen's Formula One wheel coffee table. The inside has been hand polished, and now it's Derek's task to work out how on earth you fix a glass top onto this metal rim.
Been playing around with some aluminium strips. I need something. It's tricky. I need something in 4 separate points. I think that's going to work nicely.
Attaching a small clear acrylic dot with a sticky underside means the tabletop glass will look like it's floating. Derek has plenty more to do, but he's racing towards the finish line because tomorrow, Jen returns. This morning, Abby welcomes back Jen. She wanted her piece of Formula One racing history turned into a perky coffee table. It sat unloved in the garage for years, as Jen couldn't see how to realise her dream of turning a rare race item into an eye-catching living room feature.
Hi, Jen.
Hi.
Come on in.
Nice to see you.
You excited?
Very excited.
Me too. Are you ready to see it?
Yes, please.
You're gonna love it.
Oh, wow.
What do you think?
That is even better than I imagined, and yet still spot on. That is amazing. Really has come up a treat.
Hasn't it? All the markings that you wanted are still on there.
Yeah, they look fantastic.
Don't they just?
Yeah, really good.
I just think that the way that it's been done looks really industrial, but it also means that you can actually use it and it look good in the house.
That's it, yeah. You've got the nice shine coming through from inside, which I can't believe how well that's come up.
So Hannah polished the inside.
Wow.
And it's come up really good. And if you can see right into the bottom...
Quite a reach, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can you see the magnesium?
Yeah, I can't believe how well that's come up as
Doesn't
well.
it look different?
So different.
You happy with it?
I think it's amazing, yeah, really, really over the moon.
What's your favourite feature, would you say?
I don't know, just the whole thing. I love the way, like, the old is now with the nice, shiny, new-looking bits. It's sort of kept the history, but at the same time, you know, it looks nice and shiny and new and will look great in the house.
Yeah. Well, I'm really glad that you're happy with it.
Yeah, great, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Back with the Spitfire, and there's still loads to do. But Hannah is flying through the jobs, checking the lights.
So that's now working.
And lining up the steering wheel with the wheels.
I've just checked the front wheels and they are pointing straight ahead, so that's all okay. But this is off-centre, and also the steering wheel is loose. And going to the centre nut that holds it on, it's not been done up properly. So what I'm going to do is take this off and realign it so that the steering wheel sits straight when you're driving it.
Hannah makes sure the wheels are straight and in line before centering up the steering wheel by eye and feel.
Yep, that looks good, and also now it's tight on there, there's no playing that. So that is all done.
With a project car, everything needs to be checked and double-checked, even the wheel nuts.
So these are the hubcaps that I need to fit. But first of all, what I need to do is torque up these wheel nuts. Basically, what that means is to tighten the nuts up to a certain setting, and to do that, I need to use this tool here, which is a torque wrench. Now, what I do is I set it to a certain torque setting. These are manufacturer-specific, and then as soon as it's to the tightness it needs to be, it will click to let me know that that's tight enough. It's really important for safety that these wheels are on properly. So there's the click there.
It's been many years since the Spitfire had its shine back.
Cool, that looks really nice now.
But with her last few checks underway,
I want to give this car its horn back. Blimey, that's a bit loud, that. It's such a small car. I wasn't expecting that.
the Spitfire finally takes off for the first time since the 1990s.
British sports car, in the British sunshine, in the British countryside, with the wind through my hair. I'm having the time of my life. It sounds really smooth, it pulls really well, the gearbox is lovely. It's just a really nice, fun car to drive, this Triumph Spitfire. And the looks you get from people, because they quite often don't see cars like this. We should drive these cars more often. This is great fun.
Today, Jezza and Victoria return to see whether their problem project car has been transformed into the perfect 50th birthday present. Off the road for 30 years, for the last 4, it's sat in a dusty barn. Just a rolling body shell and many, many boxes of bits.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
How are you?
Hello.
Nice to see you again, Jeremy.
Good to see you.
Hi, Victoria. The Triumph Spitfire is underneath this sheet.
Oh, yes. Very exciting to see what's under there.
When you brought the car to the workshop, remind me, what was it like?
It was in such a bad way. I mean, anything you could do to make it better would be fantastic. So we're just, eager to see what, in fact, you've managed to do, get it back to where it should be. It's probably been off the road nearly 30 years. So
wow.
It's a long time coming to get this car driving again. I mean, really, it'd be a miracle.
I'm not going to make you wait any longer. The time has come for the big reveal.
Oh, wow.
Still red?
It's red.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my word. Oh, look at that.
There's 2 seats. Oh my God, that looks amazing.
Wow. It's like it's come out of the showroom. Incredible.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that's so beautiful.
You left us with a box of parts.
Yeah.
We weren't really sure what was in them.
Well, nor was I, to be fair. I had no idea what I had, you know. It was just these were the parts, right? So it's great to see it all together. Really amazing.
Victoria, I know you're absolutely desperate to get behind the wheel, so please be my guest.
Excellent. Oh, this is very exciting. Oh, amazing.
Oh, yes.
What's it like to be behind the wheel for the first time?
It's just amazing. I've pictured this moment for a long time, so to actually be here, and 2 weeks before my birthday as well, so amazing. Really, really good. Listen to that!
Listen to that.
Yeah, sounds good.
Does sound good.
The first time you've heard that engine, it must, oh, you must feel incredible.
We've never been able to sit in it before because it didn't have any seats.
Yeah.
Oh, that is
Give us some beats, give us some
amazing.
beats. Yes.
Victoria, happy birthday from everyone in the workshop. This is our present to you. Enjoy.
Thank you so much.
That is an amazing looking car, and considering what you started with and to where you've got it in a remarkably short space of time, I'm utterly gobsmacked.
The Box of Bits project sports car is now complete. It's a Triumph. And for the very first time, Jezza and Victoria head out on the road.
Yes.
This is amazing.
It's amazing.
How cool is this? Oh, fantastic.
Best birthday present ever.